Welcome back to another fun-filled show. I'm your host, T. is Blanchard, aka Free Blanche, aka Blanchard aka Blanchy Kruger. And today's show is entitled Trump Declares Martial Law on Melanin City, aka Chocolate City. So I'm sure you all have heard the news by now. What's going on in DC? Of course, people are calling it martial law. People are saying it's too much. And the funny thing is if you aren't a criminal, how would this bother you? Honestly, like if you're a law-abiding citizen, minding your business, doing something productive, how in the world would some federal agents or National Guard bother you at all? Like I would be driving by waving to them as I was going about my day. The only people complaining about this are criminals and victim-minded Black people, which is about 95%. And I want us to be honest when we talk about Black culture. But let me say this. Most groups of people that come to America adopt a liberal ideology. Most people that are around the world see themselves as victims because most people are complaining about something. Rarely are we finding people to say, you know what, let me take this to God. So when you hear people murmuring and matter of fact, let me go to the Bible. My friend just told me about this. Murmuring and complaining. See what the Bible says about it. Philippians 2 and 14. Philippians 2, chapter 2, verse 14. Do all things without murmurings and disputings, that ye may be blameless and harmless, the sons of God, without rebuke, in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation, among whom ye shine as lights in the world, holding forth the word of life, that I may rejoice in the day of Christ, that I have not run in vain, neither labored in vain. So again, complaining. So when we see this complaining, we see that complaining goes against God. Complaining goes against God. Give y'all welcome real quick. What's up, Pamela? What's up, Miss Graves? What's up, Paul? No pun intended. What's up, BC 7 Cruise Missile? What's up? Tierra, what's up? Pamela, what's up? Ashley, what's up? Corey, what's up? Prudence, what's up? Christopher, what's up? And what's up, y'all on YouTube? Zigzag, what's up? P Dot, what's up? Randall, what's up? Now we have obligatory on here, I think. Martial fraud, who law abiding, because your fraud enforcement agencies are not enforcing law of God. I don't know what this. Y'all type some stuff sometimes. I'm just like, what are y'all typing? I feel like y'all just irk me, try to irk me on purpose. Just try to irk me on purpose. Just be emotional and just Anyway, so we know that in order to be blameless, let's go back to verse 15. In order to be blameless and harmless as the sons of God, without rebuke, in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation, among whom ye shine as lights in the world, do all things without murmurings and disputings. So the moment you all get to complaining and crying about this and that, you are already putting yourself at fault. This is why Black people are destroying the country. It's an entire nation of people murmuring and complaining, going against God. The majority, I don't want to hear some Black people, the majority of Black people think the same way. When the majority of Black people see crime, they don't have an adverse reaction to it. They don't. The culture, which is Black culture, which is the globally accepted culture, is the culture to usher in the Antichrist. The Antichrist may come out of Israel, but he will be ushered in by the Bliggedies. Because in order for the Antichrist to get global appeal, he's going to have to be endorsed by Black people. Why? Because Black people are the people of influence. I didn't say the people of finance. I didn't say the people of law and order. I didn't say the people of getting things done. I didn't say the people of building. I said Black people are the people of influence. None of these communists, Marxists, globalists, liberals, socialists could have ever achieved this without using the Negro as the mascot. It would have never happened. It don't work the same with Native Americans. It don't work the same with Asians. It don't work the same with Indians. It don't work the same with Hispanics. It don't work the same with Jews. It don't work the same. They had to use Black people. So again, we are going to be honest and transparent on this channel, but we are also going to be fair. I'm going to call it down the middle. The majority of Black people are liberal. The majority of Black people are socialists. The majority of Black people are communists. That's the majority of Black people. The majority of Black people think the same. If you don't believe me, all you got to do is be in your car and play what I'm saying on these videos out loud. Matter of fact, play what I'm saying on a speaker out loud in a Black neighborhood and see what happens. See what happened. I had a guy come up and tell me that he shared his video. He shared my video with his girlfriend. He knows me from the gym, but he doesn't know my content. And it was the video with the bald-headed WNBA player when her wig came off. She had that George Jefferson. But he said he sent the video to his girlfriend, not knowing the point I was going to make in the video. Because obviously most Black people are going to have the same thought when it comes to that girl exposing her George Jefferson. So she immediately calls him back and they have a big argument. She's talking about, I don't know who I'm dating. Who are you? You totally shot. Listen, I'm just telling you, this girl's ready to break up with him over my video. So to say that Black folks ain't this, no, it's most Black people. It's most. It's most. But let's continue. Let's continue. Let's continue. Now they want you to believe that the crime element isn't legit. They want you to believe that a group of people that have majority single-parent households, the majority of the children cannot read or write or do math on grade level. They've already been polled as the majority of them. Think about it. The majority of Black people are socialists. The majority of Black people vote Democratic, or they have Democratic ideologies or liberal ideologies. Black women lead the nation in abortion. Black men lead the nation in homicide. Most black children cannot read, write, or do math on grade level. Black people lead the nation in STDs. Black people are the least likely to get married. So that group of people aren't going to have good results. The only way to foster that kind of group of people that are 13% of the population in the country, but lead in all these categories, the only way to foster that is to have a culture that does. So this notion that not all black people, why even say it? I'm going to say all black people until proven otherwise. So I'm going to say all black people until somebody open it up and say, okay, well, not you, and not you. Okay, and not you. But the rest of them, oh, for sure. Somebody said, well, Blanche, you don't talk about white people. This is another complaint they have of me. I do talk about white people. I talk about white people that have some rank. I'm not talking about the white person pumping gas at the gas station. I'm not talking about the white person walking through Walmart. I'm not talking about the white person in trailer park. I talk about the white people that's actually doing something. Your Klaus Schwabs, your Bernie Burgos, the new guy that runs the guy that runs the UN. I talk about the real white people. I ain't talking about no average, everyday, basic white person. No. I go to the top. Talked about Biden, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, Obama. Talked about real white people. I talk about white people. It's just I don't talk about the white people that y'all want me to talk about. I talk about the white people that when you see them, you turn your head. That's who I talk about. I talk about the white folks that y'all are afraid of, like Bill Gates and them. That's who I talk about. So I do talk about white people. That's a very false critique of me. I just talk about white folks at the top. And I talk about black folks from top to bottom. Because a black person can be on the bottom and still move the whole nation, i.e. George Floyd. A black person can be on top like Big Barry Soetoro and move the nation, or MLK. I know I said Obama was white earlier, but you know what I mean. I'm just joking. But y'all say he black, so I guess he black. Or Kamala Harris. You see, black people can move the needle all throughout their social class and status. Rich or poor, black folks can move the needles. No other group has that. No other group has where the lowest common denominator and the common denominator can move the needle. Only in the black community. So that's why when you come to black people, you got to talk about black folks from top to bottom, because anybody has potential to move the needle in this nation. Think about all the degenerates that have moved this nation. Think about all these degenerates in the black community that have been enshrined in American history. We can go from the Black Panthers and all of them. Let's continue. Mr. Shepard, I am going to talk about the crack era, and I'm going to talk about how the crack era was capped. And you know why it was capped? Let me ask you all a question. If the government was putting drugs in the black community, then why did the drug dealers have to buy the drugs? If the government was flooding the community with drugs, then why did the drug dealers have to buy the drugs? Now, when it comes to everything else, when it comes to y'all black folks, they give it to y'all for free. All the social services, they give to y'all for free. All these programs for y'all are free. They give y'all stuff for free. So my question is, when it came to the crack era, though, why did the drug dealer have to go buy the drugs? Why wouldn't the government just give the drug dealer the drugs to go sell it? I heard Charleston White say that crack was created in a lab. Well, if it was created in a lab, then who taught black folks how to cook it? Why has nobody come forward and said, I was the guy they taught how to cook crack, and then I went to the black neighborhoods and taught them how to cook crack? Like the black version of Santa Claus. I just go through from hood to hood. I go down all these chimneys, and I go in there and teach you how to cook crack. You know, normally folks will leave Santa Claus some cookies and milk, but in this version, Santa Claus leaving y'all crack. Normally, Santa Claus leave y'all some gifts, put some stuff in your stockings, gifts under the tree, but no. Crack Santa Claus, Santa crack, he comes in the house, cook up some crack for you, and then leaves. Who was the person that got taught how to cook crack? Who was the forefather of the crack era? Who was the person? Who was in charge of teaching black folks how to cook crack? Was it a scientist? Was it a white scientist in a lab coat sneaking in the hood? Who did it? It doesn't make any sense. If the government was flooding the community with drugs, then why would drug dealers have to buy drugs? Now, if you tell me the government was involved in getting those drugs across the border, I might go with that. But when the drugs came across the border, they didn't come as crack. You know, other people was using cocaine as well. You know, cocaine still has a market to this day. Crack done faded out, but cocaine is still being used. I said crack is fading out. Cocaine is still being snorted today. So when them drugs came across the border, they didn't come across as crack. They came across as cocaine. And we can all agree that cocaine was being snorted by everybody. So why y'all trying to focus on crack in the black community? The government wasn't in the kitchen when y'all was rocking the cocaine up. The government wasn't in the kitchen when y'all was rocking the cocaine up. The government didn't tell y'all to sell drugs to pregnant women. The government didn't tell y'all to put crack in a kid's hand and tell them to go sell it. The government didn't tell y'all to go spin the block, killing everything in sight. The government didn't tell y'all to do that. So why y'all lying? The reason why the black community is in shambles is because the black man is weak. That's why. Nikki said, if the government in America in general is so bad, why are black folks forever happy about saving it? Why say something that is harmful to you? I don't understand. Yeah, black people, y'all want to save democracy. Y'all want to save the government. Why? It's a good question. Crack came about to stretch the amount they probably didn't know it changed the composition. Was it on accident? Was it on purpose? We don't know. But we do know they was in the kitchen, water whipping, getting that cocaine to rock up, add a little baking soda, put it in that glass jar. Come on, y'all done seen it. We got a whole rap genre dedicated to selling drugs. But the government didn't make y'all sell crack. The government didn't make y'all cook it. And it would have been different if the people that were selling the drugs was using the money to help the community, although that'd be an oxymoron. You selling drugs and helping the community. But it would be different if these drugs dealers didn't spend all their money on jewelry and cars and women and a lifestyle. It'd be different then. But the fact that y'all sold drugs to buy European clothes and cars and then turn around and blame the government, the fact that y'all sold drugs that y'all said came from the government and turned around and bought the white man's cars and clothes and jewelry, I know. I can't give it to y'all. I can't. I'm going to talk about it in the video, though. I'm going to talk about it. Let's continue. Let's continue. Let's continue.
Wait a man. Free fofo, nigga. Fuck you talking about. Pull up at your own risk, nigga. Leave my nigga in truck. Free reach money, man. Free roll, landlord, man. Yeah, man. Gang, man. Away the mob, man. Listen, man. Free bean, man. Free fofo, man. Free bean, man. Free everybody. Free jobs, man. Free family, man. Free the whole gang, man. Rich and be teenagers, man. Free things, bro, man. We talk about, man. You know what's going on. Great, free Mob City, man. Fuck with you. Hey, y'all know it, mom been murdered, man. Fuck you to my free my nigga Chester. Fuck you.
Now, y'all want to convince me that this audacious behavior isn't a problem. Oh, I get it. White folks do it too. Y'all want to convince me that this culture isn't a problem. The fact that they are willing to get on camera and incriminate themselves lets you know how bad it actually is. The fact that people make money off of going to these hoods and interviewing these young black men displaying a criminal lifestyle lets you know how big of a problem it truly is. So when you all talk about Trump is doing too much, and I say, where are the black men? Where are the black men? Oh, let me guess. Racism, systemic oppression, white supremacy. Where are the black men in these communities? These are young black men, but where are the black men? I told you, the black man is weak. Today's title is Trump declares martial law on Melanin City. Y'all are mad at Donald Trump, but the Bible says, be not deceived, God will not be mocked, for that which a man soweth, that is what he shall also reap. So you all have been killing and glorifying killing and violence and death, destruction, and mayhem for decades. We're talking about 50 years. Y'all been glorifying it, celebrating it. It went to it is so mainstream. The black criminal element is so mainstream that Kendrick Lamar was at the Super Bowl talking about turning somebody's TV off. The criminal element in the black community is so prevalent that Kendrick Lamar was at the Super Bowl talking about turning somebody's TV off while Serena Williams was crip walking. So we got them paying homage to homicide and also gang violence. That's how prevalent crime is in the Black community, to where these people can display the worst elements of Black community on the global scale. And I keep telling you all this, that Black culture is globally accepted. White conservative culture is not globally accepted. It's not. These savage cultures in these third world countries is not globally accepted. These ultra liberal cultures in these Western countries is not globally accepted. There is one culture that is globally accepted, and that is Black culture. It is globally accepted, meaning that no one critiques Black culture. No one. You leave this country, they're going to celebrate the worst of what Black folks have to offer. But let's continue. I know, I'm tripping. I know, I'm tripping. I know, I'm tripping.
That's no. The OD on.
And y'all want to convince me that it's not a problem. Y'all want to convince me that it's not a problem. That man is old enough to be their grandfather, and they beating the brakes off of it. And I'm gonna tell you this right now, they'll do it to women. And listen, this is what I'm trying to, they don't care about, like, normally it used to be back in the day, children and the elderly were off limits. Them days are over with. Those days are over with. Once they get on TV for 40 years and say that the reason why Black folks are like this is because of slavery, it's over. It's over. But let's continue. I know. I'm tripping. I know I'm tripping.
A historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor, and worse. This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back. We're taking it back. Under the authorities vested in me as the President of the United States, I'm officially invoking Section 740 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act. You know what that is? And placing the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control, and you'll be meeting the people that will be directly involved with that. Very good people, but they're tough, and they know what's happening, and they've done it before. In addition, I'm deploying the National Guard to help reestablish law, order, and public safety.
So, and again, we know the trick. The trick is let death, destruction, and damnation wreak havoc on the community, but get upset when a white person says enough's enough. Mr. Milton says, I worked in the Federal Bureau of Prisons for 20 plus years, and the DC Blacks were the worst inmates I have ever had to deal with. They put the I in ignorant. I believe it. There are certain places where it's a different breed of bliggity or niglet. Places like Florida, Louisiana, DC, Baltimore, Memphis, there's certain places where it's just a different, it's a different breed of, I don't know what you call it, but it's just a different, it's different. It's different. It's like, it's here, but then they up here. Somebody said Detroit. I just know some Baton Rouge, definitely Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge, somebody said Louisiana, Baton Rouge. Somebody said Kansas City. It's a different breed. But you heard Trump. Let's continue.
You know, when you say take a look at numbers, I just saw some charts. These are different cities throughout the world. The red is a place called Washington, D.C. Look at these. Baghdad is, we doubled up on Baghdad. Panama City, Brasilia, San Jose, Costa Rica, Bogota, Colombia, heavy drugs. Mexico City, I mentioned, Lima, Peru, all double and triple what they are. So do you want to live in places like that? I don't think so.
My bad. How could I forget? Chicago, Baltimore, DC, Miami, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Shreveport, Memphis. Like these places, it's just a different breed. I mean, you got the element around the country, but in certain places, it's like they mutated. I don't know. New Philly, my bad. Forgot about Philly. Philly's another one. They just it's like a mutation of what's already horrible. Let me rewind this.
You know, when you say take a look at numbers, I just saw some charts. These are different cities throughout the world. The red is a place called Washington, D.C. Look at these. Baghdad is, we doubled up on Baghdad. Panama City, Brasilia, San Jose, Costa Rica, Bogota, Colombia, heavy drugs. Mexico City, I mentioned, Lima, Peru, all double and triple what they are. So do you want to live in places like that? I don't think so. I don't think so. And I think the people in this room, if you wrote correctly, you'd see, look at the kind of numbers we have. D.C., 41 per 100,000, number one that we can find anywhere in the world. Other cities are pretty bad, but they're not as bad as that. Is that where you want to live?
For capital homicide.
The reporters of the world?
And the gun laws there are strict, so that debunks that.
I have so much to say, guys.
So Trump basically was just letting you all know that despite these people all of a sudden now bragging about crime going down, the numbers are worse than third world countries. These cities in the United States, you do know that the highest homicide rate in the world is Black people in America. That is the highest homicide rate on the planet. Locked in with Zaza said Chicago is a Negro North Korea. That's funny. That is funny. But again, there's a way out of this. And when I always offer solutions, I hear crickets. See, what you all have to do is start being honest. I don't care if a white person you don't like is right about something. So what? You need to focus on being right in the eyes of God. What Black people have done is Black people have said, we don't want to tell the truth because we don't want white people to be right. What about what God said? That's you all's problem, is that you all are trying to save face and make white folks be wrong instead of proving God right. That's your problem. You spend all your time lying, sneaking, stealing, and plotting to try to make white people seem like they're doing wrong and they're lying. Not one time considering what God wants. And the black man is weak. Let's continue. Let's continue.
What you shouldn't do is wait for me to tell you what to do. This is a time where community needs to jump in. And we all need to do what we can in our space, in our lane, to protect our city, and to protect our autonomy, to protect our home rule, and get to the other side of this guy and make sure we elect a Democratic House so that we have a backstop to this authoritarian push.
Now, the audacity of this woman saying an authoritarian push, and she was the main one going door to door telling y'all to get that jab. She was the main one going door to door telling y'all to get that jab, but she didn't stop there, because I was in DC at this time, and you couldn't go into most establishments without your card, without your freedom papers. So you had to go to Virginia to have freedom. So the irony of the DC mayor talking about authoritarian push, and you done shut the whole city down for the Peter pandemic. People had to mask up too. This is why I don't listen to black people. This is why. Because they're not honorable. Her solution isn't for DC to be better. Her solution is to get Trump out the way. Because white people represent accountability. White people represent order and structure. White people represent God. I didn't say white people were God. I said the way they structure society resembles God because it's orderly. There are laws to follow. There are social contracts to abide by. There's limited chaos. These people's whole focus is to get Trump out of office. That's it. To stop this white man from having a standard. During the Biden administration, y'all made George Floyd a hero and a martyr. Authoritarian. Stop. Let's hear from some DC residents, and let's see what they have to say about what's going on.
I don't understand it, and I don't think I ever will. Why the fuck is people that's not from the city saying DC's not that bad? Why is a nigga from Denver, Colorado saying DC's not that bad and Trump is just trying to be a dictator? Gang, DC is fucking like Gotham City, bruh. Like, y'all do not know. Y'all out of towners, mo. Mind y'all fucking business, bruh. 4 infants got killed in a month. This shoot is every day. Carjacking is every day. The city is fucking wild right now, bruh. And it might say it's the lowest it's ever been. That's because these niggas is not getting caught. There's so much shit going on. Y'all don't even know, bruh. I'm really recovering from getting shot in DC, gang. So for y'all out of towners to be like DC's not that bad and this shit don't need to be done, y'all don't know shit, bruh. Like, for real, y'all don't know shit, bro. What Donald Trump is doing right now, getting the homeless off the street and putting all these law enforcement people in throughout DC, that shit needs to be done good. I'm tired of fucking Gotham City, gang. I'm tired of that shit, bro. I'm trying to go to U Street and not have to worry about running from fucking bullets, bro. I'm sick of that shit, gang.
You heard from the mouth of babes. He said it was 4 infants killed in a month. Do you know how crazy? He said it was 4 infants killed in a month. I want y'all to think about this for a second. I want y'all to think about how despicable it is for babies to be getting shot and y'all talking about Trump. I'm like, in what universe or world am I living in where a dead baby don't mean nothing? An innocent child who didn't ask to be here getting shot to death don't mean nothing. Orange man bad. How does Orange man bad supersede 4 children getting killed in a month? My goodness. This is why I don't listen to black people, because I know once y'all get done telling me all that nonsense, I'm going to look at the tail of the tape and see how despicable and dishonorable y'all are. No honor. Ashley said, get Trump out of the way to do what? Laugh out loud. It's like, you get him out to do what when y'all have 4 years to do something when he wasn't in office? Thank you, Ashley. Y'all have 4 years, and in that 4 years, all y'all did was terrorize the citizens of this country. And then when election time came, y'all started out like y'all had some sense. Y'all terrorized the country for 3 years, and then when the election started, when Trump said he was going to run again, y'all knew he was going to run, all of a sudden now y'all want to get some sense. We saw the game. We saw the play. We saw the play. Let's continue. Let's continue.
DC is dangerous.
No, DC is not dangerous. Why would you feel like it's dangerous? I'm going to ask you a question.
Because it's actually the 4th most dangerous city in the country based
Right.
on homicide rates.
That's actually, I know that's absolutely right. But do y'all feel like it's dangerous because it's black people?
No.
Okay.
Why would it be because of a skin color?
Oh, that's why I'm asking. That's why I asked that question. But I don't feel like DC's dangerous.
What do y'all want me to say? To all my detractors, what do y'all want me to say to this? What do y'all want me to say? Tell me. What should I be saying? What should I say? Slavery? What do y'all want me to say? The crack era? What y'all want me to say to this? This man said that DC is the 4th most dangerous city in the United States based on homicide rates. This guy says, but is it dangerous because of black people? What do y'all want me to say? What do you want me to say? Somebody said I'm new to the channel. Who are y'all? Y'all, black folk. You see my shirt. I ain't black, I'm free. You see my shirt. Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for him, you ain't black. Y'all. I'm talking about y'all. The ones that voted for Joe Biden in record numbers, I'm talking to y'all. I ain't black, I'm free. When Joe Biden said, if you don't know who to vote for between me or Donald Trump, then you ain't black, I stopped being black that day. So I'm talking, when it's y'all, I'm talking about y'all, black folks. Let's start all over again.
Do you think DC is dangerous?
No, DC is not dangerous. Why would you feel like it's dangerous? I'm going to ask you a question.
Because it's actually the 4th most dangerous city in the country based
Right.
on homicide rates.
That's actually, I know that's absolutely right. But do y'all feel like it's dangerous because it's...
But you look black to me, sir. I got a runaway field hand on my page on IG. But just look black to me, sir. You could have fooled me. I look at you and I see the color. You supposed to be on the plantation with us. Now, if you come on the plantation right now, I won't tell masters that you ran off. Because your show looks black to me. I couldn't tell. Could y'all tell? No, we couldn't tell either. Y'all disgust me. I ain't black. I'm free. So you can say what you want to say, but I ain't black. You know what I find funny? Look at this. This dude said, "May I join your live, sir?" You most certainly may not. You most certainly may not. This is not, I don't know what you think. Listen, I ain't the liberals. I ain't the white liberals. I ain't going to cater and pander, none of that. I ain't going to do that. May I join your live? No, you may not. Now get back to work before I tell Mass on you. Let's just try this again, y'all.
Do you think DC is dangerous?
No, DC is not dangerous. Why would you feel like it's dangerous? I'm gonna ask you a question.
Because it's actually the fourth most dangerous city in the country based
Right.
on homicide rates.
That's actually, I know that's absolutely right. But do y'all feel like it's dangerous because it's black people?
No.
Okay.
Why would it be because of a skin color?
Oh, that's what I'm asking. That's why I asked that question. But I don't feel like DC is dangerous. What part in specific is dangerous for y'all?
The homicide.
This man just said it has the fourth highest homicide rate in the country, but it's not the fourth largest city. It's not even a city, it's the district. The District of Columbia is not the fourth largest city, but it has the fourth largest homicide rate. And this guy said, I don't feel it's dangerous. I told you all that the criminal element is so pervasive in the black community that telling them that they're surrounded by danger with the fourth highest homicide rate doesn't mean anything to them. That's how much crime and death and destruction and violence and mayhem is woven into the culture. This stuff, you can tell black people the stats, the numbers, show them the photos, the body, it don't move them. It's a part of the culture.
What part in specific is dangerous for y'all?
The homicides and the carjackings. And,
Right.
yeah.
That I agree with. The carjacking and everything about that nature, I agree with, for sure. But
Okay.
homicides, that's everywhere.
So do you agree with Trump's action to take over the city with federal troops to make it peaceful?
No, I absolutely do not agree with that.
Why not?
For me, I don't feel like the protection will sustain as far as in the city itself. Because it's like you have Navy troops taking over, but you got to think about the
I think
metropolitan.
the training is different.
It's-
Military is different than police. Police work for the people.
Yes.
The military do too. Yeah, they protect us, but the
Wait a minute. Listen, I keep telling you all that black people lie because the goal is not to tell the truth. The goal is to make the white person wrong. Listen to me clearly. Black people lie. The goal is not to tell the truth. The goal is to make the white person wrong. First, y'all told me that the police were out there hunting you all down. Now you're telling me that the police work for the people and now the military is bad. Y'all been saying the police been bad this whole time. But now when the National Guard comes, now all of a sudden they got different procedures. Now the police are doing a good job. Which one is it? Are the police good or bad? Which one is it? Are the police doing a good job or not? Listen.
As far as in the city itself. Because it's like you have Navy troops taking over, But you got to think about the
I think
metropolitan.
the training is different.
It's-
Military is different than police. Police work for the people.
Yes.
The military do too. Yeah, they protect us, but they're focused on combat. There's no combat needed in the streets.
Well, there's gunfire in the streets. There's people getting shot and killed.
I'm law enforcement myself, and the training is completely different. It's completely different.
So how have you guys been handling the crime recently? Do you feel like it's gotten better or worse?
So I'm from Miami, so it gets no worse than Miami. But like
It is worse in Miami, actually. If he deploys federal troops and everything becomes safer, will you say that is successful?
If it was to come to that rate and crimes drop, totally.
Crime recently.
Listen to what she says.
there's no combat needed in the streets.
Well, there's gunfire in the streets. There's people getting shot and killed.
I'm law enforcement myself, and the training is completely different. It's completely different.
So how have you guys been handling the crime recently? Do you feel like it's gotten better or worse?
So I'm from Miami, so it gets no worse than Miami. But like
It is worse in Miami, actually. If he deploys federal troops.
She said, I'm from Miami. It gets no worse than Miami. I told you all that black people are immune to the criminal element of the culture. You heard what she said? Oh, I'm from Miami. This ain't nothing. All them homicides in DC, and she ain't four babies killed in a month, and this ain't nothing. I told you that the criminal element, crime, is woven all throughout black culture. Crime, like people dying, getting shot, abortion, baby, that don't move black people. What moves black people is a white person saying that's wrong. You'll get a person getting shot in the streets will not be a biggest reaction as a white person on a video saying, y'all got to get it together, black people. The person getting shot in the street, that might go viral. That white person saying, get together, black people, it's going to go viral. Black people are not moved by crime, none of that stuff. You heard what she said. I'm from Miami. She immune to it. Let's continue. You never answered my question. You said I had a master. What master do you speak of, sir? Oh, man. I can tell, listen, I know it's a black man. And you know I can tell it's a black man just by the way they type and text. It's like the way they text. It's like they text from a victim mindset. Like they text like a victim. Like it's never a manly tone in the text. It's always you said I had a master. Who's my master, sir? Like it's never speaking with conviction. But I guess it's hard when you're always lying. It's hard to be convicted. There was a rapper that got I'm not gonna play these songs. I'm gonna play this video. But basically, this is a rapper right here. He got convicted of murder. His father basically told on him, testified against him. Everybody said it was a racist system. They said the white man this, the white man that. They railroaded him. But look at this guy right here in this video. This guy right here just got convicted of murder. He's a rapper. K-Sue 23 times. This guy right here. Y'all told me that it's not a problem in the community. Crime is going down. These young guys saying they want a hat. We want a hat now. We want a hat. Nikki said he did it. Look at him. Look at him. Guns all in the video, talking about killing other black men. Y'all, let's go to where his father. Now, black folks said it was racism. They said that the system did him wrong. I want to play you another video. There's one more video I want to play you all. I think it's this one.
We know hospital shit.
Okay, so this video right here, rappers who shouted out Young and Ace, homie, K-Su, out in their songs. Like, I don't want to play the songs for the copyright, but in these songs, they all shot him out or shout him out for killing. Like, so these guys that are other rappers talk about the crime he committed, killing somebody in broad daylight. They put it in a, like, look, multiple songs, you can't hear the words, but multiple rappers, multiple songs. Look, you see the words, I know a real stepper. Like, so they all bragging about what K-Su did. All these rappers are bragging about the crime he committed. That's how bad crime is in the black community. They're making songs about killing somebody or going to kill somebody or somebody being killed. It's crazy. Look at all these songs. Song after song after song talking about this guy killing this dude. But you want to convince me it's not a problem. You want to convince me everybody does this. Okay. Let me guess, white folks do it too? White folks do it too? Let me go to this boy's daddy. Let me get to this boy's father.
January 15th, 2020, Hakeem Robinson was living with you.
Yes.
And so you would see him on a daily basis?
Yes.
And as you have testified to, he's your biological son.
Yes.
And did you also see him after January 15th, 2020?
Yes.
And when he was living with you in your home, did you become familiar with some of the clothing that he owned?
Yes.
See the types of clothing that he would wear?
Yes.
See him as he...
Okay, if you'll rephrase your questions.
Did you ever see him walking about the house?
Yes.
Did you see him in music videos?
Yes.
Right. Are you familiar with the way he moves?
Yes.
Are you familiar with, or 5 years ago, were you familiar with the way his build was, his physical characteristics?
So basically his father and one of his friends testified against him. And of course he said his lawyer won the case. He said lawyer proved his innocence, but his father and his friend testified against him. and they still blame white people for this. Rappers, multiple, showed you about 8 songs where rappers say he killed somebody. His father said he did it. His friend said he did it. I'm like, what did his lawyer prove? What did your lawyer prove? But everybody mad at his dad for turning him in or testifying against him. His dad was in the streets too, though. So his father's part of the blame.
Election is underway for 2 of the 3 people charged for the 2020 murder of Charles McCormick, also known as Little Buck. McCormick was outside a shopping center in Arlington.
Hakeem Robinson, better known as Queso, and Leroy Whitaker are being tried together with separate juries for the 2020 murder of Charles McCormick Jr., better known as Little Buck.
Oh, I get it. I'm saying I'm so lame. I'm saying queso is queso as in cheese. Queso, like the cheese. I'm slow, y'all. My bad. Queso, his name is Queso, my bad.
Robinson is charged with first-degree murder as a criminal member. Whitaker is charged with first-degree murder as a criminal member, burglary with a battery, and home invasion robbery. Both Robinson and Whitaker are alleged to be part of the ATK gang. On January 15th, 2020, McCormick was shot outside of a shopping plaza in Arlington. Investigators say Robinson, Whitaker, and Dominique Barner followed McCormick from his house to the shopping plaza with the intent him. Officials say Robinson killed McCormick because he made a rap song that dissed the late rapper Willie Addison, better known as Big Goon. Robinson, Whitaker, and Barner drove away and were.
So Lil Buck, so Big Goon got killed. Lil Buck rapped about it, dissing him, and then they came to kill Lil Buck. That's how much violence in the black community. It's all over a song, though. Black folks kill over music. Forget beef. We beyond beef and territory and drugs and all that. Black people killing over lyrics.
Were chased by JSO until they crashed. Whitaker and Barner ran into a woman's house and allegedly held her hostage for an hour until they were picked up by Robinson's dad, Abdul Robinson Sr. Police say security video shows Abdul Robinson Sr. escape after the killing. Barner took a plea deal, and Abdul Robinson Sr. is charged with accessory after the fact. Action News Jack showed you the moment Abdul Robinson Sr. blamed his son Hakeem McCormick.
Now, when you watched that video of the murder of Charles McCormick, did you recognize the...
Yes, sir.
Who was the in that video?
Hakeem Robinson.
Your son, Hakeem Robinson.
Yes, sir.
Abdul Robinson Sr. is expected to testify against his son during the trial, and also charged with first degree murder is Abdul Robinson Jr. He, however, is going to be tried separately.
It's not a problem, y'all. It's not a problem, I promise. It's not a problem.
Oh, no, we can't do that. No. You just got to find somewhere else to park. Who the fuck is you talking to? You feel me? Like, who the fuck is you talking to for real, even talking like that? Like, that be the shit. And that's what make a motherfucker be wanting to get into it with y'all, because y'all ain't got no respect. What's up, bro? What's up? Hell no.
Brandon said, remember when young Dolph got killed and the whole Memphis had to shut down? I remember. People was getting killed left and right when young Dolph got killed.
They calling them now, bro.
So if you don't understand what's going on in this video, this guy got into a dispute over a parking space. So he gets in the parking, so he's parked in the parking space after having a dispute over the parking space. So I want you to listen carefully of how this man just got killed over a parking space.
Oh, no, we can't do that. No. You just got to find somewhere else to park. Who the fuck is you talking to? You feel me? Like, who the fuck is you talking to for real, even talking like that? Like, that be the shit. And that's what make a motherfucker be wanting to get into it with y'all, because y'all ain't got no respect. What's up, bro? What's up? Hell no.
Now, he told him to take that chain off. He said, hell no. So you get into a dispute at over a parking spot. You park in the parking spot and you decide to go live. Meanwhile, the person is still going to park somewhere. So you're on live talking about the guy, and the guy comes up to your window and say, give me your chain. You say, hell no, and you get shot, and this guy's now dead. Just that quick, just that simple. That's how volatile and dangerous it is in the black community. This man left his house, got a little outfit on, got his chain on, having a great day, and he didn't make it home. That's how violent the Black community is. In an instant, your life can be taken. This was over a parking space. And the guy probably saw his chains. You know what? Let me go get his chain. Do something different. Said, did white supremacy do that? No. But somehow, some way, they're going to blame it on white supremacy. Man lost his life over nothing.
Do you not understand that this is what the residents want? I'm not talking about the bougie upper echelons, bougie blacks. I'm talking about the everyday grandmas that have to deal with these homeless people peeing and pooping on their steps, and then they have to clean it up. They don't feel safe when they walk into their neighborhood. The gangs and the dope boys are just standing around the corner, you know, like, do you not understand this is what they want? I remember working with a community leader and somebody had just gotten shot. This is like 5 years ago. And I remember her praying and she said, Crystal, we're going to have to invoke the National Guard. And that was so foreign to me. Now I understand the shit. These people are helpless. And I'm not talking about the bougie black people that live in their gated communities with their new bills. I'm talking about the everyday grandmothers. And I'm so glad that President Trump cares about them.
She said the woman that she was working with said that we're going to have to call in the National Guard because people in the community that actually care, they know how bad it is. Like anybody with some sense in the black community, they know how bad it is in the black, like they know. If you got some sense, you got 2 eyes and 2 ears, you can see what's going on. That was Crystal. That was a red pill brown girl. That's her YouTube.
Do you not
Let's see.
Crime, what are your thoughts? I agree with it. I was born and raised in the district, and I've never seen the things that I see today with children as young as 3 years old being shot. I mean, where does that happen? I think it's a bad idea to fear what this president is doing. I mean, he actually lives in the city now. I mean, come on. He would be foolish, I think, to ignore things like that. A child, 3 years old, being shot, or people being shot on the bus. I mean, that happened in upper Northwest Washington, D.C. So, I mean, yeah, I think I agree.
In upper Northwest and like the areas, because it's hard finding actual DC residents here in this area. It's mostly like bureaucrats and whatnot. It's not the real DC people. Yeah. Do they generally support this? Do they feel like they want crime to be under control, or are they against it?
I do. I believe that most people that live here, that work hard every day and have families, they want the crime rate to be brought under control. They want the situation of, like I said, children being shot, seniors being assaulted. They want that under control. Okay. And I believe that this is the best thing that has happened to this city in a very, very long time for the president to take control and, of the police, of the crime. I think it's a great idea. I really, really do.
Question.
So you have a resident that cares, and of course, because she cares, sell out, coon, bootlicker, uncle, just all the words that go to, people caring about, their fellow man and fellow woman and fellow children. Let me.
Calling for the National Guard to help restore order. We are in a war zone. And those who have not been affected by it directly, you will be directly or indirectly if we don't do something now.
Trayon White Sr., thank you so much for being here today. It's really stunning to think about what's happening and the crime rates that are rising, but you've called on even the National Guard being used to try to restore some kind of order. That can be very eyebrow raising for a lot of people thinking about the National Guard, not really trained in, obviously, day-to-day law enforcement. Why is that such an important cause of action?
Well, the whole approach is a public health approach to addressing public safety in our community, meaning we should have trauma-informed care, access to recreation, mentors, just the things that residents need in addition to responsible policing. I think that we are in a crisis when it comes to the violence in D.C. We've had, 596 carjackings. We've had over 1,700 people shot in the district in the last 3 years.
1,700 people shot in DC in 3 years. 1,700 people shot. This isn't a war zone. This isn't two countries fighting against each other. 1,700 people shot in DC in 3 years. 600 carjackings in probably a year. Less than a year. Do y'all understand how crazy this is? Do you understand how nuts this is? And they're getting on TV saying that Trump is a dictator, and y'all done had 1,700 people get shot, including babies. I don't listen to black people. I don't listen to black people. They don't have any honor. How in the world are you mad at Trump and 1,700 people that have been shot in 3 years? The crime ain't that bad in D.C. Man, they overreacting.
What we're doing is simply not enough to make people feel and be safe in the district. And we're looking to have the conversation with the new police chief. In fact, we're on our third police chief since 2020, and the mayor to figure out ways we can be more proactive about addressing crime in the district.
The former president, who was just here last week, he made comments about how he thought that the city was in a decline. He commented about it being filthy, about broken buildings, about crime. Are you concerned that the impression that he had, one, is accurate or speaks to what you're talking about right now, or that it is giving either an accurate or unfair description of the city as it is?
Well, to say the city is in decline is an overstatement. The city is not in decline. We have one of the healthiest budgets we ever had in D.C. history. We have strong leadership. We have to figure out ways to invoke the council members, the mayor, the politicians to work in conjunction with the community. And we don't have all the answers. And I believe that our answers are in the community.
Let's go back to what he said in the beginning of this video.
Council member is calling for the National Guard to help restore order.
We are in a war zone. And those who have not been affected by it directly, you will be directly or indirectly if we don't do something now.
Trayon White Sr., thank you.
How in the world can you go from saying that we are in a war zone and need the National Guard to say that the city isn't in decline? How do you go from saying we are in a war zone and we need the National Guard, but when you get on CNN, you say the city's not in a decline, the city's doing well? It's black people lie, y'all. They lie. They just lie because the goal is for the white person to be wrong. They don't care about telling the truth. It's going to be millions upon millions upon millions of black people in hell because they chose to lie their whole life. Mark my words. They refuse to tell the truth. Let me go to another. I wanted to pick up on something. Speaking of culture, let me go to, let me. Okay, let me see this real quick.
Rogue, he will be Nick Fuentes. I swear Nick Fuentes want to be Charlie, but he can't get his stuff together. He don't want to do right, I don't think. He has these crazy radical claims. He is racist. He may not want to say he is, but he's racist. He said on Candace Owens' show when they did the podcast that he considered himself racial at first, but now he thinks he's racist. He's a racist person that make illegitimate claims. But a broken clock can be right twice a day, just so you know. So I want to hear this because I saw Cartier family do a reaction to this video, and I heard the first like 3 seconds, and I say, oh man, this is juicy. So I want to listen to what he had to say, and does he have a point? In the comment section, let me know, do you think he have a point about some of the things he's saying? And also, is he a racist or is he not a racist? Roll the clip.
It's a shame. I really do believe, look, I think black people are not irredeemable, but there just needs to be brutal honesty. It's like, look, these black people are really struggling and they're turning into these maniacs. It seems like they don't do anything right. They're obnoxious, they're rude, they're inconsiderate, aggressive, cruel. And, you know, look, nobody hates black people for being black. If there are people like that, I think that's exceedingly rare. And I don't consider myself one of them. The reason that people have negative attitudes about black people is because most people's interactions with black people are negative.
And let me say this. I don't believe there is no such thing as racism. If you ask the most racist person why they don't like a group of people, they're going to tell you. They're not going to mention their skin. Like, I've never heard a person say, I just don't like them because they look like this. Anytime they ask a person that's racist why they're racist, they have a laundry list of things to say. I don't believe in racism or anti-Semitism. I don't believe in it. Because I know that every person on the planet has some type of bias to a group of people. Everybody has a bias. Everybody. So to say that Nick is racist when he's listing out the reasons that he feels this way, you really can't call him racist. You just can't. That's not racism. He just said nobody hates black people because they're black. It's because of what they do. And black people have a hard time with separating themselves from black culture. But let's go back into it. Let's get back into it. Let's get back into it, man. Let's get back into it, man.
Most
people's interactions with black people is when you're stuck in traffic and you see a Nissan Altima speeding down the shoulder. And you say, what the f***? You're not supposed to do that. If everybody did that, it would just be another lane. And, you know, not everybody can do that. But it's like these people have no respect for decorum. They think the rules don't apply to them. They have no respect for society. Like that's their interaction is they are a waiter and they wait on a black table and the black people don't tip. Rude. And that's most people's interactions. It's stuff like that. They go to the DMV and they see a black person behind the counter and they say, oh, here we go. And the person's rude. Now, it just goes to show people are not racist. It goes to show people don't like people that are rude. That people don't, it's unpleasant. People want to be treated with consideration and respect.
I think black people do this more than anybody else do it per capita. But this is not every black person is like this. If you go into an IHOP, like we went to IHOP when we were in Orlando, Florida. The black people in there were ghetto, but they were nice. They were respectful. Some of the best service that we've had. Not every black person that's in the hood is a bad person. I grew up in the hood. Most black people in the hood don't like the black people that are acting up.
Now, I'm going to ask y'all a question. How does Officer Tatum sound right now versus how he normally would sound? And I'm saying this because we all know that the way Black people interact with white people is different than how they interact with Black people, positive or negative. It's different. Nick Fuentes is talking about, on average, he lives in a major city, a Democratic city. His interactions with Black people, most of the time, he says, won't be pleasant. He could be exaggerating. He could be telling the truth. We don't know. But we do know that Black people go from 0 to 100 real quick when it's a white person. We can all agree, whether they're ghetto or professional, if a white person is present disagreeing with them, it's going to go from 0 to 100 real quick. We know this. But my question is, how does Officer Tatum sound now versus how he normally sounds?
Most Black people in the hood are not acting up. It's the ones that act up get the most attention. It's the ones that's going up the shoulder like this that people remember, but they don't remember all the other Black people that are sitting in traffic with. They just remember the one flying up the bankment. They go to Mardi Gras or go to, not Mardi Gras, but the Cincinnati Brawl. It's probably 40,000 Black people out there, but they remember the ones who are beating up this white lady. And that's not every Black, that's these knuckleheads. And I think that Nick Fuentes is 100% correct when it comes to the ends. N-words act like this. N-words are rude. N-words give you bad service. Ends do this stuff. Black people don't act like this.
And this is where I disagree. And I disagree because the only way ends can survive in the community for this long is through support. So Black folks have been saying ends versus Black people. I'm saying the only way the ends can survive, and not just survive, but thrive. The ends are thrust in front of the culture. George Floyd has a statue. Breonna Taylor has a statue. So again, Black women are following Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B and all them. Like, think about how Kamala Harris ran her campaign. So the lowest common denominator of Black people are what's representing Black people. That means that the other 80% of Black people have to be okay in condoning it. Think about Jasmine Crockett. So Black people have to be condoning this. This is why I don't say that they're ends and they're Blacks. No, because the Blacks who are this quote unquote majority have to be supporting the ends. They couldn't survive. The ends would have died off a long time ago, but they're thriving.
And I think Nick Fuentes is an example, in my opinion, of a person who only have a certain amount of experiences with Black people, not the totality of how Black people operate. He's never been in a neighborhood where Black people are normal. He's probably experienced a Black people hood, thug, N-words. And then now he's saying Black people are like this. Most people interaction with Black people are negative. I don't know if that's true if you live in Arizona, if you live in Las Vegas, if you live in California. Most of your negative interactions are not just Black people. But if you're Nick Fuentes and you live in like Detroit somewhere, then maybe you'll think differently. If you live, like for instance, let's give an example. Most white people live around white people. Most Black people live around Black people. To be honest, most white people don't have that much of engagement with Black people as much as they do with white people. Same thing with Black people. When I was growing up in a Black neighborhood, we never seen white people unless they're cops or crackheads. We were living our own life like this. And white people never really mess with Black people like that. And a lot of the crossover are decent Black people going to work and doing stuff like that. And not the ends. And so I just put in perspective. I think that Nick Fuentes have what we call Black fatigue. like his experiences with black people have been negative. So he think that majority of black people act like this, which is just not true. Let me give you a statistic and then we'll finish the clip. If you look at the homicides, black community homicides, black on black violence, black on whoever, is about 6,000 people are killed every year due to black suspects murdering them. There's 40 million black people that live in America. 6,000 homicides, meaning there's 6,000, and that's just if one person killed one person. That'll be 6,000 suspects. 40 million black people live in America. So the majority of black people aren't even committing crimes. The majority of black people are not murdering people. But when you're in these situations like Nick Fuentes in isolated areas, you experience probably what he's experiencing. I'm just saying that it's not as widespread as he may be trying to make it out to be, or maybe not trying to, the way it's coming across. Roll the clip.
Shootings that you see in Chicago are by black people. When you're walking down the street late at night, guess what you're looking for? Black people.
In Chicago.
And you equate that with danger. And it doesn't take a lot of them to spoil the whole bunch like that. And we just want black people to take accountability and say, look, I'm not a bad person. I'm not a bad person. It just seems that every time I encounter you people, for the most part, it's negative. And sometimes extremely negative. Like I could get a gun in my face. You know, that's a problem. And people go, well, you are just loaded up with hatred and racism. It's like, I'm really not. I'm a really friendly person. I'm a really polite, friendly person. I give everybody a chance. But if I'm someplace and I see some black person walking in with their pants sagging and they can't articulate what their problem is or what they need, and they're rude and they're aggressive, and I'm in fear for my life, like, yeah, I have a problem with all of that. And people go, and these black people go, well, you're racist. You're racist. It's like, no, I just hate inconsiderate behavior.
Pause. Now, I know this is a short notice. Can somebody pull the clip up of Nick Fuentes on Candace Owens' show?
Now, so if you go to his video, Officer Tatum's video, you're going to see everybody saying that he's wrong. I was going through the comments. I couldn't find a single comment that supported Brandon Tatum on his own page. This is how you know that Nick Fuentes is a threat. On his page in this video, comment after comment after comment said, "Now you wrong on this one. You making it personal. Nick is right." I'm talking about, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. You see, what Nick Fuentes is saying is true. But you got to make him look bad. You got to make him look bad. And to me, this is dishonest journalism. And I like Officer Tatum, I do. I watch his stuff. But this is dishonest journalism because you know good and well what he's talking about. In context, you know what he's saying is true. You know it. Let's continue.
When he said that he's racist, because he say people saying I'm racist are dangerous and you can be fearful of them. He said black people should be in jail for the most part. That's not like that's it's okay to say black people need to be held accountable for things and other things, rise and violent behavior. Because if you ask Nick Fuentes today, and if he listened to this, he'd probably try to have an argument for it if somebody asked him. But if you ask him today, who's the biggest threat to America? He'll say black people. I could almost imagine that he would say black people. Who are the most dangerous people in America? Black people. No, it's not. It's these blue-head leftist nut jobs are the most dangerous people in America. Antifa, dangerous people in America. White liberals, and through legislation, will destroy this country. They are the most dangerous people. They will get you locked up, shadow banned. They force you to wear a mask. They do all of this stuff that's detrimental to the existence of America. They have power. They have influence. Black people don't even touch a candle to these white liberals, to be honest. And you think about the world. Look at the African countries and you say whatever. But look at what white leftist weak people have done to the world. Europe is being taken over by Muslims. Why? Because of weak, I want to use the R word, white folks that are letting Muslims into their countries because they feel white guilt.
Let me ask you all a question. What could white liberals do? And let me say this too. It's not just white liberals. That's another misnomer. It's liberals, because liberals can be white. Most oftentimes they are white. Most oftentimes they are Jewish. Most oftentimes they are a person of color. So the liberal is not just the white. No, liberals come in all of the shades because they're linked together by an ideology, not necessarily how they look. But what could the white liberal do without black people? What could they do? The only reason we have this global push of humanitarianism is because of black people in America. Okay, I'm gonna make it plain for y'all. The only reason these liberals around the world are able to push what they're pushing like they do today is because of black people. All of the other regimes they had, they failed. All the other regimes, think about communism, all that stuff. What happened to it? But this right here with black folks, oh, this gonna stick. So the liberal can do nothing without black people. Nothing. Black people are the poster child for what is wrong with the world. The whole planet is known for slavery, but you only care about one group, black people being slaves. But again, the point of this video is to make them look bad.
In America, who's the ones that's going to make America fall off the cliff? It's white liberals. They destroy everything. And I would argue that the white liberal destroyed the black community, if you ask me. And then who is
the black community? Destroyed the black community. The black community destroyed the black community. The devil might give you the devil might set the trap, but you want the cheese. Think about this for a second now. The devil is going to tempt you with what you want. If you like to eat junk food, the devil's not going to tempt you with broccoli. The devil might set the trap, but you want the cheese.
capitulating and supporting the foolishness that go on in the black community? It's these white liberals. They're the ones telling that black people shouldn't be incarcerated. What do you mean they should be incarcerated? They're the ones crying at defund the police, defund the police, defund the police. The white liberal is pushing that. The white liberal is running on that premise for the most part. And I'm not saying some of these black ones ain't bad, but the white liberal is the most dangerous to democracy and to the existence of the Constitution out of any group in the world. They are going, if we unabated, they are going to destroy America. And the powerhouse of America will cease to exist in America. So I think they're a lot more dangerous than black folks. Black folks voted.
I want my kids to look like me. Similar background, because I want my kids to look.
Do not have power like the liberals do. All right. This is the Nick Fuentes clip. Play the clip and you just tell me what you think about what he said. Roll it.
I always say on my show, it's just my value. I want to marry someone that looks like me, that comes from a similar background, because I want my kids to look like me. I want my grandkids to look like me.
But are you, sorry, I just want to make sure, did you say I'm a racialist or I'm a racist?
You know, For a long time, I would say I'm racialist.
Mhm.
Now I just say I'm racist.
Okay, so when you say you're racist,
Mhm.
because these definitions get changed around, racist, anti-Semitism gets expanded. What do you mean when you say I'm a racist? Because I think most people watching this would go, if you are a racist
Right.
in the traditional sense of the term, why are you on this podcast, right? Wouldn't you just go, you know what, Candace is black and she's therefore I don't want to speak to her.
Right.
Certainly not going onto your show and saying, why won't Candace have me on? That doesn't really seem to line up with
Right.
the traditional sense of the idea of racist. So
Yeah, and I'm using it. I'm being a little tongue in cheek. I mean, for the purpose of understanding, I'd say my views are I'm a racialist. But I do think that we need to deconstruct this idea of racism in the sense that, look, you're black.
Now, so clearly right here, Nick Fuentes said that he's being tongue in cheek, meaning that he doesn't believe that he's a racist. So he's saying he's making a joke. That's why he said I'm being a bit tongue in cheek. He's saying it's not racism. He's not a racist. And again, if he was technically racist, he wouldn't be on Candace Owens' podcast. Think about somebody that hates somebody just by the way they look. They're not going to go on the show with them. And she asked him in the show, "Does he hate anybody?" He said, "I don't hate anybody." I don't think he does hate anybody. I don't. But he did not say he was a racist. He said, "I was a racialist. I'm racist, but I'm being tongue in cheek." We gotta redefine this whole racism thing. And even Candace acknowledged that we gotta define what racism is, like even anti-Semitic, because it keeps expanding. So again, he's not saying that he's racist.
I'm white. It is what it is. For my entire life, people have been walking around on eggshells about the subject of race, about white people being racist. Can I say this? Can I say that? Can I have this opinion? And me, I'm sort of, Gavin McInnes said it like this. He said, you're kind of post-racist. You're sort of after this craze where everything was racist. It's sort of this recognition that we live in a heavily racial world. And, look, sometimes we have racist feelings like I want to live in a white neighborhood.
Mhm.
I don't want to live in a black neighborhood. If they're all like you, obviously it'd be a different story. But when we think of a black neighborhood, we know what that means and why the property value.
But that's
cheap.
Black Americans. So this is why I want to understand this idea better because, and this is kind of something my cousin has said,
Mhm.
which I guess you could say is a racist statement, but she says that white people in America are the white trash of white people in the world, meaning that like there's a special category of uniquely that you don't see when you're dealing with like white Americans here, that if you went across to like Switzerland, you wouldn't see this version of a white person necessarily, or you maybe went to the continent of Africa, you don't see this version of a black person either. Like even if you went to to the tribes out in Africa that still exist, they would be a far cry from a black American living in a neighborhood in Compton, right?
Mhm.
So I'm trying to understand if you think that it's all black people are like this, or if your world is kind of colored by this is what's going on in America, this has failed.
I want you to think about what Candace Owens just said. I want you to think about what she just said. And again, today's title is Trump declares martial law in Melanin City, but I'm talking about the culture. I want to think about so think about this now. Think about all of these European countries. Think about all the European countries, and then think about somebody making a statement that the white people here are the white trash compared to European countries. I don't agree with that because white people are so diverse, even in Europe. White people in America, very diverse. You have rich white people, poor white people, middle-class white people, liberal white people, conservative white people. Like you have so many types of white people in America. To say that white folks here are the white trash compared to Europe, when there are so many European countries that don't look that appealing, and the people don't either. So this kind of, I told you, people, they liberals. They liberals. Most black conservatives are former liberals. And I don't believe that most black conservatives converted from an actual soul conversion, if that makes sense. It wasn't a soul conversion. Because to me, in a soul conversion, you'll see that you have good and bad in all groups of people. There's no way they are sophisticated. Just because somebody has an accent, I mean they're sophisticated. You got Ireland. You mean to tell me that all of Ireland is more sophisticated than America? Like America, stop. It's just the goal to make Nick Fuentes be wrong. It's dishonest journalism.
For 1,000 reasons, welfarism has definitely, Black people in 1940s stand up. My grandfather, I talk about that denigration and the corrosion of culture. That's happening. White, Black, whatever you want to name it, there is this intentional corrosion of culture. So do you think it's literally, well, this is just what a Black person is when they come out? Or do you think that post welfare, LBJ, Great Society, this is what Black Americans have become, and I have a right to respond to that and say that as a white man, I don't want to live there?
Well, I think it's more nature than people would like to believe. There's this classic tension of, is it nature, is it nurture? Is it cultural, or is it intrinsic? Is it racial? And I've always been on the latter side of this among conservatives.
This is on Candace's show. But he said, I used to say I'm a racialist, but I'm a racist. He go on to talk about how he want to marry somebody that looked like him. That, like, Black people are not all the same. This is where people become racist in my book. Black people are not the same. So when you say Black people and you generalize, that, to me, that's racist. That's like thinking all white people are the same. That's racist.
And you know what? And I like Tatum. It's just a bad take, though. And it's a bad take because it's just dishonest journalism. Because he knows good and well that we generalize when we talk. Just like he said Black people before, I say Black people, I say white. Like when we talk, we generalize. We generalize. Like this is normal. Like what Nick Fuentes is saying is not wrong. And it's normal rhetoric. It's normal to say Black. It's normal because when we say white or Black, we know not all. Now, Black folks will say all. The only group of people I've ever heard say all one group is Black people. Black people will say all white people are racist. Nick Fuentes ain't saying that. Nick Fuentes said, I wouldn't mind living in a neighborhood if Black folks are all like Candace Owens. So clearly he's not talking about race. He's talking about culture and behavior. But he didn't say he was racist. He said, I'm being tongue in cheek. He even said that the McGinnis guy said that he's post this whole everything is racist movement. I'm the post that to where just because I have a feeling about something doesn't mean it's racism. Like it doesn't mean it's racist. Even the term is a bad term. Thank you, Vic. Thank you. Like it's just they're trying to take Nick out, but it's disingenuous. It has to be right. You can't do it the wrong way. If you want to bring Nick down, you can't lie on the man. You can't lie on the man.
For a Black person to think all white people are the same. There's Irish, there's Italian, there's Jewish. I mean, you go down the list. There's different white people. So don't you say all white people are the same. I don't want to marry a white person. And you say, I want to only marry Black. Think about this for a minute. If I said I only want to marry Black because of my culture, well, what culture are you talking about? African culture? You talking about African American culture? You talking about Texas culture? You talking about the bloodline of Tatum culture? What are you saying? I don't discriminate against different people based on the color of their skin. And what Nick Fuentes is saying, he would. He could see a Black woman and like her, but he can't be with her because she's not white.
First of all, think about this. How is it discrimination if I don't want to date you for whatever reason? How is it discrimination if I don't want to date you for whatever reason? It's my life. And Nick Fuentes said he's attracted two other races of women, but he's not going to marry them because a part of his beliefs are that it's not just how someone looks, but it's also culture, it's also values, it's also heritage. Like he lists a lot of things that make sense. You know what's funny about this? Most people do what Nick Fuentes is saying. Most people don't go outside of their race. Think about that. Think about the entire planet, all these billions of people, and most people marry their own. So how in the world can Nick Fuentes be condemned for something that 99% of the planet does? 99% of the planet marries within their own people group. 99%. So how is Nick Fuentes singled out for being racist when everybody else does it? It's crazy. That's crazy. This disingenuous journalism is dishonest.
That's racist. Now, you can do it. You live in America. You do what you want to do. But he said it out of his own mouth. And he said stuff over the years. It's racist. But it's okay to be, if that's what you want to be. I don't care that Nick Fuentes is racist. I don't care that Nick Fuentes wants to only marry white people because he wants his kids to look like him. I don't care.
What is wrong with that? Like, what is wrong with me saying, I want to, okay, like me, right? I look like my grandfather, right? Actually, my mother, my uncle, like we look alike. And then it's like we have two looks in my family. Either you look like my grandfather, and he had kind of, it's like half of the people got the tight eye look, and the other got my look. But it's either the tight eye look or my look. So if I have some children, God willing, they're probably going to look one like me and one with the little tight eye look. All I'm saying is that there's nothing wrong with wanting your children to look like your family. Like that's like, again, it's normal. It's not racist. It's normal. It's what everybody does. Come on, man. Come on, Tatum. This is wrong.
He's entitled to his own opinion. But I don't want him walking around and saying he's not a racist. No, you racist, but it's okay for you to be racist. I mean, I want to.
He's not racist. This is not racism. This is not racism.
People that are in this comment section, I know there's some white people in the comment section that feel some type of way about what I'm saying. But just say if I said I don't want to marry, I'll never marry a white woman. Why would I marry a white woman? I want my kids to look like me. But
who would have a problem with that? Who would have a problem with Tatum saying, I want my children to look like me? Nobody. That's most people. Most people look at a family book and see she look just like so-and-so. She look just like so-and-so. He look just like so-and-so. Like, that is normal. This is crazy. Thank you, Lady Hustler. It's not racism, it's preference. There is nothing wrong with that. This is crazy. Listen, this really hurt me. It hurt me. It did.
What do you mean marry a white woman? Are you saying because she's white, these are the things that come along with her? This is who she is because she's white? And this is, to me, that's what I think they're saying about black people. Because why would you want to marry a black woman? Because you want your kids to look like you. Why you want your kids to look like you? Exactly like you, I guess. Is it because to me, it's superfluous. My kids are mixed. They don't have to look like me. They look like me, but they don't have to be same color. The DNA is not somehow destroyed because their mama is white and I'm black. It's that a reasonable, rational person want to be with a woman that's good for them, that's going to be a good woman, a good mother, and all those other things.
But why are we assuming that he's not going to pick a white woman that's a good woman? He didn't say my only requirement is that she be white. He's not saying that. He's saying that I prefer to marry a white woman. Like, again, it just was a bad, dishonest take. And again, if the goal is to make him look bad, you have to give a bad take. You're not gonna be able to make him look bad without giving a dishonest take. I think Chad has had the best critique I've seen of Nick Fuentes as far as him with the gospel and what he did on January the 6th. If I can be honest, now, if you critique his how he practices his Christianity, then you may have an argument there. But and you know, his January the 6th, what he did there and how he responded to it recently, you may have something there. But to say that he's racist, no, he's not racist at all. I don't at all.
That's what this is, in my opinion. That's what this is all about. But the clip didn't work, right? Did we finish the clip we already have? I'll let him finish. I'll let him finish, and then we move on.
If black people were sued for being the best, then we would be racist in the other direction. Oh, finally.
Dude,
so
stop.
yeah, that really bothers me.
You know, maybe he's out of context. Maybe he just want to focus on black people. But I'm like, so you think white people don't commit crime? Like, are you saying that when you see a white person?
Listen, it's about to get bad, y'all. It's about to get bad right here. It's about to get bad. It's about to get bad. Did this actually hurt me?
You automatically think they tip? White people tip well? Now, you could have the argument that black people disproportionately act this way, but you can't say as if you're not afraid or you're not concerned with white people doing certain stuff. Because if you look at the statistical data, white people commit more crimes than anybody else.
Let's look it up. Let's look it up. Let's look it up. I just want to see the crime statistic for 2024. I don't have the race though. So white people committing more crimes because they have more numbers is not the same as black people committing crimes when they don't have the numbers. We're talking about 13% of the population versus 60+% of the population. But percentage-wise, who commits the most crimes? Percentage-wise, context to the numbers. Come on now.
Like number-wise, the murders, the
black men commit more murders than white people, over 50+%. This is not true. What he's saying is not true.
Rapes, you name it, white people have done it far more than anybody else. The incarceration numbers, there's more white people incarcerated than anybody else.
Okay, again, because it's more white people. If there are 10, let's say there are 10 black families in a neighborhood, and there are 40 white families, and the crime data comes up, and the 40 white families committed, let's say, 60 crimes total. The 10 black families committed 30 crimes total. Who committed more crime? Same with abortion. They'll say white women have more abortions. This is what they'll say. But black women are only 6% of the population, maybe 7%. And they're making up for 40% of the abortions. Context.
So you can't say as if white people are not committing crimes. Therefore, there would be no police officers in Idaho. I mean, we just seen a murder of dude murder 5 kids and 4 people in Idaho just got arrested. There would be no murders in Idaho. Therefore, we would need no police. We wouldn't have police in Montana. We wouldn't have police in Park City, Utah. We wouldn't have police in white majority areas.
This is bad, y'all. Listen, this, when I tell you this hurt me so bad and disappointed me, it's bad. It's dishonest journalism. It's bad.
If it was to way Nick Fuentes is explaining it, all the police would just need to be in the black neighborhoods. But unless you live,
you know what's funny about what he's saying? Y'all can go around a bunch of white people and not have any problem. Think about, let's set all the data to the side. We can all go around a bunch of white people and have no problem. Not give a second thought. If we around a bunch of black people, we're gonna be thinking about a lot of things. We're going to be thinking about a lot of things. It's dishonest. Dishonest.
Under a rock, if you watch the murder shows, any of the Dateline, 99% of people on Dateline are white people. So, and some police officer has to go to that house where somebody done poison somebody and kill somebody.
Listen, context. The reason why television picks up more of these white murders is because they're made for television murders. Like white people murder elaborately. Like white people will go to the farm where they have chickens, poison the chickens, and then have the husband go to the farm and pick out that chicken and cook that. Like white people murder elaborately. Black people just murder savagely. It ain't really a good story. You can't spin the story. Pookie got mad at Ray Ray. Pookie gets gunned. Pookie shoots Ray Ray. That's the end of the story. In the white crime stories, the wife was sleeping with her boss, and then the boss had an affair with somebody else. Then the husband had the insurance money. Like it's a lot more elaborate when it's white people. So the reason why those shows get picked up is because the elaborate nature of the crime. The black folks' crimes is very cut and dry. Spin the block, you don't get them, spin it again. Like the black, so it don't make for good television. Again, this is dishonest journalism. It's dishonest. If just say you don't like the man, but don't say the man is racist. Don't do that.
So, everybody got trash. I think black people disproportionately represent violence and stuff, but to make the inference that you don't have any concerns, or at least that's what it's coming across as. Do you have concerns when you see white people at a convenience store that's doing this? And they got
no, because when white folks are on drugs, they beg very politely and they mind their business. When white people are on drugs doing this, they'll ask you something in a low, nice tone. If you don't give it to them, they'll leave you alone. Black people have the aggressive dope fiends. Black people got the aggressive dope fiend. The black dope fiends, you give them something, they don't appreciate it. That's black folks. White folks don't do that. White homeless and black homeless are totally different. When white folks are homeless, they look pitiful. When black folks are homeless, they got on nice shoes, they dress nice, talking crazy. Man, it's all you got. Like, come on now. We ain't gonna play that game now. We're not gonna play that game. There's a huge difference between white homeless and black homeless. Come on, y'all. Come on, Tatum. Don't do it. Come on, Tatum.
Sores on their face. You're not concerned about that person. You're not concerned about Hispanics. They got MS-13 tattooed across their neck.
No, they ain't gonna bother you either. You know what's funny about Hispanics? They don't bother nobody. Dude, the Hispanic gangs don't bother anybody. They don't. Now, they might have took over that apartment complex in Colorado, but shoot, I think the owner let them do it though. The owner probably let them take. I'm just saying, y'all have never had a confrontation with a Hispanic gang. And if you did, it's probably one time. Hispanic gangs don't bother people. They don't. You can walk by a group of dudes with MS face tattoos and they're not gonna say a word to you. They may say, "What's up?" I'm from California. Hispanic gangs don't bother you at all. They don't. They be like, "What's up?" and keep it moving. If you live in their community, they're gonna be cool with you. So why would Nick? And they don't bother white people either. I mean, that's the truth. I was getting to that, D. Donovan. I was getting to that. I was gonna get to that.
Like maybe he's just talking about black people, and I will concede to that point. But it's just the way he coming across to sound really, to me, like he has a bias against black people and he's racist. And like I said, he said on the show that he was racist. And that's where I'm getting that from. And then we not even talk about the Jew.
He said he was being tongue-in-cheek, man. You know, come on, man. Don't do that.
That he was racist. And that's where I'm getting that from. And then we not even talk about the Jew hate stuff that he be saying, denying the Holocaust or having an extreme view on the Holocaust. It's crazy to me.
That's the reason Tatum did this. That's the reason. That's the reason right there. That's the reason. Because all the stuff he said is not really, it was dishonest journalism. But that's the reason right there. It's because of Nick Fuentes' stance on Israel. But at the end of the day, when I was growing up, I was told that 100 million slaves died in the transatlantic slave trade in the Middle Passage. 100 million. I was told this growing up. 100 million. We were told that all these millions died in the Trail of Tears. Not 100 million died in the slave trade, and not millions died in the Trail of Tears. I think it might have been like 4,000 to 6,000 died on the Trail of Tears. So, of course, when it comes to historical events and they throw out these large numbers, they're going to be questioned like all of the other events. It's not just the Holocaust. It's all these events where they say this many people died. That's not an anti-Semitism thing. When people go throughout history and say, wait a minute, these numbers don't seem right. Trail of Tears, Holocaust, Middle Passage, they want you to believe that millions upon millions, 60 million Native Americans died because of the white man. So again, questioning these numbers isn't because you're against a group. So Nick Fuentes even questioning things about the Holocaust doesn't make him anti-Semitic or a Jew hater. It doesn't. Just like somebody questioning the slave trade numbers doesn't make them anti-black. It's just dishonest journalism. It is. Lady Hustler said, even the 9/11 numbers don't match. Thank you. Even the 9/11 numbers don't match. People are, when you throw numbers out there, people are always going to go look at the numbers. Will Chamberlain supposedly scored 100 points. People questioned it. People say he didn't. People say he did. But people question Will Chamberlain scoring 100 points. Do you honestly think they're not going to question the Holocaust with 6 million? Think about it. They questioned Will Chamberlain scoring 100 points. So again, it doesn't mean that you hate a group of people because you question these historical events. We know that history is told from a very skewed lens, whoever's telling it. Thank you, stimulated students. And that he slept with 20,000 women. As soon as Will Chamberlain said that, everybody started doing the math. Come on, y'all. When Will Chamberlain said he slept with 20,000 women, everybody questioned it. There's human nature to question these numbers being thrown at you. They were saying that, oh, this many million people got COVID. People was questioning the numbers. This many million people died from it. People question the numbers. Years from now, people are going to question how many people died from the Peter pandemic. Years from now, people are going to question how many people died from the shots. I'm just saying, what are we talking about? That doesn't mean somebody is anti-group of people. I'm not saying Nick is or isn't. I'm just saying that doesn't mean that he is against a group of people. We all have biases. Come on. I thought of dishonest journalism, and it hurt my feelings to see Tatum do this. It really did. I was disappointed because I know it wasn't genuine. And if you go to the comments of this video, matter of fact, let me go to them. Just real quick. I gotta go, y'all. Just real quick, though. Hold on 1 second, y'all. My bad, y'all. Let me just go to these comments real quick. I'm sorry. I got stuck on something. A title I saw. Here go the comments. I got to be honest with you. He's saying everything most white people are scared to say. Pattern recognition isn't racism. I am black. I don't live in the U.S. I vacation there in the summer, and Nick's experience is what I experienced. Nick Fuentes lives in Chicago, where we have the worst black on black crime, but nobody wants to talk about it or stop it. He's not saying every black person, Brandon. He's talking about the ones that act the way he's talking about. Gets called racist, but doesn't get called wrong. Nick Fuentes speaks 100% facts about black people. I know the truth hurts. I can imagine it's hard for Tatum not to take the clip personally, but he is taking it too personally. Like, you're taking it, like, dude, comment after nobody on this video agreed with him. And if I did a video and all y'all would disagree with me, I would go check myself and then come back and at least address why y'all disagree with me. Dude, everybody disagreeing with what he said. Lady Hustler said, I am anti-fake imposters. I'm not racist or ashamed to say it. Listen, man, I like real people. I'm with you. I don't like it being fake. I just think that his motivation was to make Nick Fuentes look bad because Nick Fuentes is actually a threat to conservatives. Because you got to think about, he goes after conservatives. His number one target is conservatives, or what he calls neocons. He has a video where he breaks down who even started the neocon movement. He breaks it down. And that's why I say, even in the neocon movement, he traced it back to 2 Jewish guys. They were actually liberal. They only went to the neocon route because they didn't like the liberal stance on them being in the Middle East. I guess something, with Gaza and all that stuff, But my point is, we can say what we want to say about this whole discussion, but there's valid arguments on both sides. That's why I say, put your trust in Christ. Put your trust in Jesus, because there's valid arguments on both sides. It is. I've watched many debates, and sometimes the pro-Israels win, and sometimes the not pro-Israels win. I mean, I done seen it. I done seen Candace Owen lose. I done seen Nick Fuentes lose. I've seen it, and I've also seen them win. So again, because both sides have valid points, I'm not picking a side. I'm going to trust Jesus. And if y'all want me to bless Israel, I'm going to bless them by offering them salvation. That's how I'm going to bless any nation, though. I'm going to bless any nation the same way. I'm going to bless all the nations. Y'all need Jesus. Repent. TK's not, he said he broke down the January 6th incident involving him too. Well, listen, I played the video of him breaking it down, and what he said didn't suffice. It didn't, because, and from a moral standpoint, you told people to go into that building, period. You told people to go into that building, to go push past the barricades, push past the police, and go into that building. Then you got on your show and said, I didn't tell, y'all shouldn't have been breaking the law, fighting with the police, like he said it, going into the Capitol. So the very thing that he told people to do, he condemned them for it later. I can't ride with that. I can't ride with that. Lady Hustler said the fake imposters don't believe in Jesus or God. I'm gonna tell you what's funny to me, right? I remember Tatum said one time that Jesus wasn't God. And when I tell you his followers were, I'm talking about going after him. And I just noticed he had a tattoo on his arm. I don't know if he had it before or not, but it said, Jesus is Lord. I don't know, man. I don't know. But I still have that to say that, let me get these super stickers out of the way. Thank you so much, Cruise Missile, always supporting. Thank you so much, sir. Conservative Thinker 91, Blanche, check out the 95 Chicago heat wave. Ooh. And you know what's crazy? I was in the Midwest during that heat wave all summer. I was in Detroit. I was in Ann Arbor, but I was in there the whole summer. The 95 heat wave, Chicago. I sure will. Thank you so much. Thank you, Anthony Lebrokiak. Thank you again, Anthony Lebrokiak. Anthony's Too Real. The Ghetto, the new sundown town. Thank you so much, right, Anthony's. Thank you, Top Vic, for the super sticker. Thank you so much, sir. Idris Singleton, thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it. McTowns, thank you so much, sir. Missy, Tatum and Candace are bogus. They both have a chameleon spirit. That's what I'm starting to see, Missy. I saw it with Candace, but Tatum, it hurt me. I was like, come on, Tatum. That last video hurt me. It did. I ain't gonna lie to you. Dateline episodes have a witness on TV. Witnesses on TV? Yes, they do. Thank you. Nick is saying, well, a lot of pastors need to be saying to Black people, it will save our souls following the confessions of Jesus Christ. Thank you so much, Missy. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Listen, y'all, I love y'all. Thank y'all so much. I will I think I'll come back with the Eve Diet Part 3. Casually Conservative says they all on the payroll. It appears to be that way. what are your views on Candace? I think Candace is, in my opinion, I think she's a bit of an opportunist and a contrarian. I think that she goes where it can get them, where the most fire can be fueled. I'm not saying that she doesn't say things that are right or truthful at times, but I will say that she is a gatekeeper. And I will say that she the way she did Nick Fuentes kind of exposed her to. Yeah. I mean, I think she's like all the rest of the people. Like I don't separate her to say she's a morally higher than anybody else. I think that she's like everybody else, opportunist, gatekeeper, all the above. Does she say things that are true? Yeah. But listen, I love y'all. But I'll see y'all on Saturday. I love y'all.